Mike Owens with Inside Fighting, joined today by a victorious Joshua Van, who's coming off another big win at UFC 313 against Rei Tsuruya. Josh, great to sit down and chat for the first time. How are your emotions after how are your emotions after such a big win?
It's good. It's great, man. You know what I mean? It's always it's always feel great when you like after a fight.
Um, three back-to-back pay-per-views for you now, 306, 310, and now 313. Does fighting on the undercard of a pay-per-view feel any different to fighting on the undercard of a fight night?
I don't I don't see no difference, you know what I mean? For me, a fight is a fight. So yeah, it feel the same, man.
How was preparation? How was camp for this fight?
The camp is always been the same, you know what I mean? Like we just have to change a little bit just because he was a heavy grappler. But other than that, man, my training has always been the same.
Have you had a chance to watch the fight back yet?
Yeah, I watched it like 2 times already. Yeah, I did good.
Give me your assessment. Where do you think you did well, and where do you think are areas that you it might be being uber critical, but that you want to improve upon?
I feel like, I was kind of rushing, like, because I wanted to get a finish.
Hmm.
I feel like if I would have stayed more calm and just instead of like throwing power and power, like instead of like, you know what I mean? If I would have just picked my shot and just touching him, I feel I would have got the finish. But I was rushing, man.
Did his game plan surprise you at all, or did the kind of his approach play out as you expected?
Nah, it didn't surprise me. I knew that he was gonna shoot right away, But what surprised me was his cardio to keep on shooting until the end. You know what I mean? So that man got a great cardio.
Do you like fighting guys who'll stand and trade with you, or do you like fighting generally? Because I know you would class yourself as a striker. Do you like fighting grapplers who are going to try and get you to the ground and it's that to and fro, or do you like somebody who's going to try and stand with you?
I just love fighting in general. It don't really matter who I fight. You know what I mean? I just love fighting in general. So whether they a grappler or a striker, I'm always well prepared. Shout out to my team.
Where does that love for fighting come from?
Uh, what?
Where does the love for fighting come from in you, do you think?
It's just coming from where I'm from, like coming from Myanmar. You know what I mean? Yeah, we have to fight our way into things and stuff like that. So yeah, that's probably where I got it from.
How important was it for you, or how special was it for you to be able to walk out with your flag?
It was special, man. I fought for the flag, you know what I mean, for a while. So um to finally get to represent my country in the biggest platform, it just feel amazing, man. I'm grateful for it, you know what I mean. Shout out to the UFC for allowing me to represent my country.
Who would be considered the greatest fighter to come from Myanmar?
Uh I would say me. Nah, I'm playing. No, I'm playing. As of right now, no, not yet, not yet. But we got some great fighters from there. My big brother On.
Mm.
He made a history and won championship. You know what I mean? Two division champions and stuff like that. So, and we got a couple more, youngster coming up and stuff like that. And we got a guy like myself, still trying to make history and stuff like that. So maybe in the future I'll be one of them.
I love it. I think the stat was you defended 18 of 22 takedown attempts on Saturday. Were you happy with how your takedown defense held up?
Yeah, I'm happy. I'm happy, man. I'm just like frustrated that I didn't put no more, like more strike. You know what I mean? So
Mm.
yeah, that's all.
Do you feel like, look, you've got outstanding striking on the feet. Do you feel like every opponent is going to at least try and mix in the threat of the takedown or the wrestling threat to try and get away from your striking at some point? Do you feel like that's at least some part of every opponent's game plan?
That's for sure. You know what I mean? If they're smart. I mean, I shoot too sometimes. Like,
Mm.
and everybody was like, Josh Van got a greatest like striking. Nah, bro. When I get hurt, I shoot. So, you know what I mean? A smart fighter will adjust like things, and if they need to shoot, they'll shoot. So, yeah.
I know you've been very critical of the rankings and you not having a top 15 number next to your name. For those who are watching this, we're recording this on Monday, so the official rankings will come out tomorrow. If you're a betting man, do you feel like you'll get a number next to your name tomorrow?
I don't know, man. What you think? You think I should be
I think you
ranked,
deserve it. I think you deserve it.
right? So that's why I said the ranking is kind of like bullshitting, unless you're on like the top five or like below top 10, I think it's bullshitting. Like, you know what I mean?
Mm. But you're still very young in terms of your age, but also relatively young in terms of your career. I think it's what 6-1 you are in the UFC. You've been very active in the UFC, but still only been here for a year or so. Do you want to take your UFC career slowly and keep on learning because you're still relatively young in your career, or are you one of those guys who's like, get me a ranking, then get me up the top 10, get me to the top five as quick as you can?
Uh, I'm not sure about like rushing and take it slow. Like I just take whatever they give me, you know what I
Mm,
mean? So, and I don't like taking a lot of time off because the first time I did that, I get hurt. You know what I mean? Because when you take some time off and you come back to the gym, like your body, you have to adjust to some things and stuff like that. So I don't really like taking too much time off. So I'll probably take like a week off and go back to training. So yeah, I want to stay active, man.
it feels like there's a lot of hype. I mean, I use hype in the positive sense of the term around your name. When you're on a card, you're one of the undercard fighters on these pay-per-views. The fans are generally excited for. Do you feel that love from the fans?
Yeah, I felt the love, especially when I was about to walk out the arena. Like this fight, I was like, damn, that's crazy, you know. I appreciate every fans that support me, man. Like every fight, you know what I mean? I'll try to put on a show for you guys, man.
Is it important for you to entertain?
It, uh, I think it's just my fighting style, you know.
Mm,
I'm not trying to be like, yeah, I don't want to be a entertained fighter where I get hit and he get hit and this and
mm.
that, but I think it's just my fighting style, man. You know, it come with it. So yeah.
Is there someone? Is there a role model you've had throughout the course of your career who you've maybe modeled your style on or took the most from? Who would that be?
Conor McGregor was the guy that got me into MMA. I didn't know what MMA was until I saw that guy, you know. So and then after that, when I got deeper into the UFC, I saw this guy Peter Yan,
Mm.
and I see that he got the same style as me. So I like, oh, I like this guy. So like before every fight, I watch him. You know what I mean? So yeah, that guy.
Do you still study the game? Are you one of these guys who's tuning into the UFC every Saturday or most Saturday nights, watching other guys trying to pick things up, or are you in your own lane now?
I'm in my own lane, man. I watch my own fight, and then when big name like I'm a casual ass fan, you know what I mean? Like I don't watch every fight. Like if big name fight, then I tune in. But like other fight, I don't really watch because I don't know, man. You know, like when we in training every days, and then you go home and you watch fight, it's like you know what I mean. You gotta do
Mm.
something else. Yeah.
What do you try and get up to outside the training? What's kind of a hobby that no of Josh fans that nobody knows about?
And to be honest, man, I don't even do shit without training. I just stay at home watching myself. And yeah, like I love to like after this fight, like you know what I mean, I'll probably enjoy with some family, you know what I mean? But after that is training camp, we can't even celebrate because we gotta do this shit all over again and stuff like that. So as of right now, man, I don't really got a hobby no more, you know what I mean? I'm just strictly rest and then go back to training.
Well, I know that you like to stay active. What do you have a timeline where you'd like to make your return, a location? Where in an ideal mind, in your mind, do we see you next?
Like in a fight,
In a fight, the location, a date, a name, what's on your
I,
agenda?
ideally, man, I want to fight next month or next week, you know what I mean? Just because I'm not hurt or
Mm.
anything, you know what I mean? So, but whatever they give me, man, I want like the sooner the better because yeah, I feel like the more I stay active, the better I get. So, yeah.
Is that a sharpness thing? Is that just kind of keeping your triggers sharp.
I don't know what it is, man. Even when I was fighting in local, you know what I mean, a couple of
Mm,
years ago, I hate taking time off, you know what I mean? I'll fight like twice a month or like, you know what I mean? Things
mm,
like that. So I like keeping my mind busy, you know.
mm,
'Cause if I ain't got nothing going on, I'll just stay at home on bed, on my phone, you know what I mean?
mm,
So I need to have something in mind, you know.
mm.
So yeah.
There's a very dominant champion in your weight class in Alexandre Pantoja, and there's certainly a question mark over who's next. Is it Kai Kara France? Is it Manel Kape? Both are coming off big victories over top contenders. Who do you feel like deserves the title shot against Pantoja next?
Damn, I don't know, man. That's a tough one, you know what I mean? So cause Manel be on the road too. So it's like Kai, uh, I don't know, man. Whatever the UFC plan for them, but yeah, I think Kai will get it.
Who would you give the better chance to defeat Pantoja?
Me.
Me. Well, I was going to ask, do you feel like as you look at this top 15 and when you eventually get this ranking next to your name and you climb this division, do you feel like if and when you fight for the belt, it will be against Alexandre Pantoja?
Uh, I hope so because just because like he's a legend in the division right now, you know what I mean? So to overthrow, right? That's how I
Overthrow.
say.
Yeah,
Yeah,
correct.
overthrow a guy like him is like, you know what I mean? It's gonna be like a special feeling, and I know it. So, man, it'll be an honor for me to fight him for a belt. That'd be crazy.
If you take your skill sets out of it for just a second and you look at Pantoja, when you look at his game, what do you feel like would be the keys that somebody would need to implement in a game plan to have success and to ultimately take the belt from him?
Mm, his pressure. So I'm a pressure fighter. You know what I mean? Me, a pressure fighter with pressure, because most I feel like most of the guy crumble in front of him. You know what I mean?
Mm.
Because of the pressure that he give. And so he just break them down like that. And that man got cardio, so um I feel like my pressure and my fighting style will be a perfect way to beat him. I think, I think because I haven't fought him. So you know
Mm.
what I mean? So yeah.
Yeah, well said. Well, last question from me, and thank you so much for your time. Great start to the year with a big win at the start of the year. What are your rest of your goals for 2025? Where would you like to be come the end of the year?
Before every fight, man, I'll be like, damn, after this fight, I'm gonna take some time off and this and that. And then after the fight, like the next day, I'll be like, damn, I get bored. Like, what am I supposed to do, So, uh, I just want to stay active this year, maybe 4 or 5 fight this year, and yeah, maybe in the top 5 or a title contender.
I love it. Well, Josh, thank you so much for your time. Always good seeing you back in action, and we enjoy the victory, and we look forward to seeing you back soon.
Thank you for having me.